The 10 best movies of 2019 so far, ranked. Folks, let's be real, it's been kind of a rough year at the movies. Sequels are end. No one's seeing the plenty of quality films are still to be had, though, especially if you know where to look more than ever, it pays to go deep diving on Netflix or poking around digital platforms for diamonds in the rough. While we're waiting for a mega second half of the year, we're in all Lama's heavyweights, here are the best movies of 2019 so far through June, ranked A. Since we're in the middle of the Kinuasence, it'd feel wrong not to have in here. His Duke Kaboom is where to see it in theaters now. Putting out for the 50th anniversary of The Moon landing to the definition of no-brainer, director Todd Douglas Miller doesn't phone it in, however, and creates something special by stripping the story down. Instead of recruiting an A-list narrator or enlisting talking heads, Miller chronicles the Apollo 11 mission using just archival footage and audio. It adds new dimension where to see it A on digital platforms. In this wholly original take on the superhero genre, Gugumbe the Raw is magnetic as a former drug addict on the run from those trying to study her remarkable abilities, and her journey takes her back to her rural home, her estranged mother Lorraine Toussaint and daughter Sani Sydney, who both of whom can also do extraordinary things. There's an intriguing where to see it A on digital platforms. Still scratching your head at the thought of Robert Pattinson as watching this all get where to see it A on digital platforms. Director Stephen Bristol's excellent Netflix adventure produced by is on the surface an homage to Back to the Future U complete with a winking nod from Michael J. Fox in a cameo featuring two super smart African American teens Eden Duncan Smith and Dante Critchlow who invent time travel technology. It becomes much deeper where to see it on. Politics is seemingly everywhere and inescapable these days, but at least and Seth Rogen's is an appealing gem for all parties. He's the school you where to see it in theaters now. Everyone knew Marvel's was going to make $1 gazillion and have just as many characters. The fact that it was where to see it in theaters now. Talented young singer trying to make it is a familiar refrain. It hasn't even been 9 months since A Star Is Born rocked us hard. But Tom Harper's where to see it in theaters now. Leave It to turn hands across America into something completely unnerving. A worthy follow-up where to see it A on digital platforms. With no warning whatsoever, that Olivia Wilde just redefined the teen comedy for an entire generation and cemented herself as the coolest director in Hollywood. Of two overachieved where to see it in theaters now.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.